You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
Well, I suppose we have to do some talking this evening about one of our favorite pay-per-views of the year, Backrash. It's WWE Backrash, and we're gonna do picks because that's what we gotta do. We gotta do picks. I have no idea how entertaining this show's gonna be. Seems like some of this stuff was just kind of thrown together willy-nilly, but you know, time will tell. But thanks for the interruption. Time will tell. God, fucking, you know. There's some people. Anybody who listens to the podcast who also plays with the gentleman known as Casual Gaming Dad will know that there is a certain individual, shall remain nameless on this podcast, who our very own Casual Gaming Dad has to, what's a good word, berate on occasion, because, you know, our Casual Gaming Dad's trying to do, you know, information giving with his channel, and this individual just likes to, you know, do his flappity-gumbity mumbo-jumbo. You know who you are if you listen to this show, but, you know, one of my favorite things that our dear CGD says to him is, you gotta learn how to read the room. When I'm doing my shit, keep your mouth shut and wait till I'm done. Well, somebody on the podcast here tonight can also take a good lesson from
I listen to you all the time. I listen. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Beef, go ahead with picks.
It's the Pittsburgh Piledriverpodcast.
No, I didn't say go ahead with intro. I said go ahead with picks. The intro was already ruined by our resident bumble shit.
Well, somebody's got to do something around here.
They know what the podcast is. It's in the description.
And Beef the Legend, your resident, reigning, defending, and undisputed Cruiserweight champion. I don't care what Pat says. I'm the champion, damn it. I have claimed it. He is the pretender to my throne.
What did you do? Fucking lick the belt? You don't call dibs. It's not how it works, Beef.
You don't know what I call. I call whatever the hell I want to call. And tonight I'm calling myself the Cruiserweight champion because that is facts. That is life. That is how it's going to go down. And I'll tell Pat that to his face that he got lucky.
To his face over the Discord.
I am joined by, as always, as sometimes, Tiger Bomb Tom. Glad to have you along tonight, buddy.
The reigning, defending, galactic champion. Because
you ain't shit. You ain't shit. Poot the Bard is here as well. Steering
No. Apparently I'm a bumble shit. Well, here's the difference. Oh, look at that. Ransom server muted now. That's cool. There we go. All right.
Don't do
This is a
that.
fun
You want to
vibe
fuck
tonight.
around, you're going to find out. All right?
Unmuted. He left. That's your fault, Poot.
Uh-oh.
That's your fault, Poot.
Well, this is a fun vibe.
You've upset Ransom.
All right.
This is on you. This is on your head, sir. By God, sir, I will not abide another Ransom. Speaking of abiding, it is May the 4th.
Hold on.
As we record, Happy Star Wars Day. All right, yes, we do have some picks. Ransom will be back after Poot has mended some bridges with the Mad King. He will be back, and I will give him a glorious intro. We'll be joined on the next episode by the Maniac, the real Cruiserweight champion, Pat, the bastard. And that's the best that I'm going to give him. That is the best that I'm going to give him. So, it is time for Backlash. Everybody's favorite Caribbean-themed pay-per-view. What? When? All right. I guess, hey, we got Bad Bunny, and we're going to be in Puerto Rico, so, in all honesty, I am here for the the W, the first W in WWE, standing for World, for the first time in a long time. I really dug Clash at the Castle last year. Perfect. I really dug Clash at the Castle last year.
Crash and Castle.
And I like the fact that they're going overseas to London with the Money in the Bank at the O2. As well as, obviously AEW doing Wembley's a big fucking deal. So, but yeah, I'm actually pretty cool with it. So that said, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting show. The draft happened, so that's something else that we're gonna be talking about as well. So somebody talk while I get Ransom back here.
I Poot, that's all you. I
don't know. I'm excited for the show. I'm excited for the show. I'm excited to see what
Ladies
happens.
and gentlemen, shut up, Poot. Shut the fuck up, Poot. The Mad King has returned. Ransom, welcome back.
I'm going to give this one more shot. I want you all to know that I'm trying very hard to maintain my composure.
A true expert. The floor is yours, sir.
I have nothing to contribute.
Fair enough.
My intro was butchered, stepped on, and fucked with. So I have nothing to say until the fucking picks.
Fair. It's all Poot's fault. This is on Poot's head, sir.
Don't worry. I'm sure the stinger will also be just violated like a prom night dumpster baby as well. So look forward to that happening.
Prom night dumpster baby. So yeah, can't make up in here. So yeah, like I'm all for the international flair. I just think it's like coincidental that it includes Bad Bunny.
There's nothing coincidental about it.
Well, yeah, that's probably true.
Come on now.
It feels like WWE and to a lesser extent AEW are playing awful like close to the vest with their like upcoming shows. Like we know that Night of Champions is in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We know that Money in the Bank is in London. And we know that SummerSlam's in Detroit. Outside of that, we don't know what's coming when or where. Not a lot's been announced. So, you read certain things as you do. So, I'm like I said, man, I'm here for it. I like that it gives the flavor of the worldwide audience. And like, they've been claiming to be a worldwide leader in sports entertainment for 50 years.
For over 50 years.
Yeah.
Well, what?
It's time for them to put their money where their mouth is.
You said things that you read. What things are you kind of alluding to?
I mean, the fact that they may be bringing back pay-per-views that are branded, a la SmackDown pay-per-views and Raw pay-per-views, as well as and then obviously the big four.
Right.
That's I think is why things might be kind of like fluctuating right now, not nebulous, if you will. Very, very, very fluid because they don't have a lot of like hard and fast plans, which is, good and bad. I like things are fast and loose, that things can be changed, but it's also kind of a drag whenever it kind of seems like things are being, played by ear. And, that's kind of what we're hearing more and more of is that Vince is doing Vince things and ripping up scripts and showing up, an hour before the show and being, or emailing somebody an hour before the show and being like, yep, we're not doing this. Cut this, cut that, cut everybody. Cut it out.
Okay, Uncle Joey.
Listen,
I called it, by the way. I called it that was going to happen.
You absolutely did. And I mean, I think we all. I think we all believed you. I just think that we were all.
That's something on this podcast that is absolutely true. I will give Ransom all the credit in the world. Every time that we get starry-eyed, doughy-eyed about anything, whether it's The Fiend, whether it's Vince McMahon finally being, ding dong, the witch is dead. Ransom always goes, you sure about that? And we go, nah, we're going to be positive this time. And not even saying you're being negative, but you're like, let's be realistic here, guys. And we're like, we are being realistic. He's gone. And then a month and a half later, we're like, and he called
You can always count on me to rain on your parade. Ha ha!
Jokes, was it your face? Ha ha!
Joke's on you.
But the thing is, that doesn't take away from the fact that you're right. You are right.
Stupid Vince. I hate him so much.
Well, I don't know. Like, I think it's still going to be a weird mesh. I feel like there's a chance that he could be, like, involved at, like, a top level, which is fine, but also not fine. Like, if you say, okay, Paul has control, we're going to let Paul do Paul. But Vince has the power to override Paul. I don't know. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like money's going to talk. And at the end of the day, I feel like if Vince doesn't do well, I think that he is absolutely on the chopping block because he doesn't own the company anymore. He doesn't own the shares. He owns some shares, but he's not majority shareholder anymore. Like that's he doesn't just get to be in charge. So I think that he's got a little bit of a plank. Obviously they're giving him enough rope to hang himself with, but again, I gotta believe that at the end of the day, Triple H is going to make as much hay as he can while the sun shines. Have you seen Vince McMahon? He's not long for this world. We have time.
Man, I thought that like 10, 15 years ago, but
well,
jeez.
If you see him, there's a reason he's modeling himself after apparently Walt Disney, because Walt Disney isn't dead, with his head frozen in a jar somewhere.
Accurate.
Vince McMahon will be the first living version of New Vegas's Mr. House.
Oh God!
Like pretty soon, nobody will see him in person. Like nobody will see him, not even family. But his face will show up on the Titantron.
I was like, yeah, I don't know where my dad. I don't know where Dad is.
Maybe he's just an AI at this point. Maybe that's why things are so terrible. Everything that comes out of his mouth. Like maybe he's just a. But here's the thing: AI is better than that by now. So like I can't even say that. All right, so let's bulge here. Let's go into picks. Let's get them out of the way. 7 matches, 7 points. You know the drill. I'll run down the card very quickly.
What the fuck?
Did you have a stroke, Biff?
No, I'm fine.
Biff?
In a 6-man tag match, we will see Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn, aka the Tag Team Champions, versus the Bloodline, who is being represented by Solo Sikoa, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso, because we know that Roman Reigns can't wrestle 2 times in 2 months, otherwise he might melt. Cody Rhodes faces Brock Lesnar. Rhea Ripley defends her title against Zelina Vega, because Zelina Vega is from Puerto Rico. Seth Rollins is facing MVP because
Reasons.
Why not?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I thought he was facing Omos.
Yeah, that's you said he's facing MVP.
I'm sorry, Omos with MVP. Okay. My bad.
They move about the same nowadays. I understand the confusion.
Hey, man.
I mean, hell, I would rather see Seth Rollins versus MVP any day of the week than Seth Rollins versus Omos.
MVP was great. I don't care what anybody fucking says.
I'm
MVP
not saying MVP wasn't
great.
Were
saying that were detrimental to MVP's character, sir.
Currently, not before. I'll not abide another MVP.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna take the shit that I Poot. I'm not gonna take it.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to frame it? Never mind. Go ahead.
Put you to shut the fuck up while I'm doing the picks. Seth freaking Rollins will take on Omos.
It's not bit.
Austin Theory defends the United States title against Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. Bianca Belair, the champion, will defend against Io Sky with Bayley and Dakota Kai in the Raw Women's title match. And Bad Bunny face Damian Priest in the San Juan Street fight. Beat the Legend will face off against 3 of the Pittsburgh
Oh my god. Fucking Ransom, you killed me. With the fucking
Welcome to my hell, beef.
just fucking Bobby.
I don't even want to hear it. It's
Fine. I'm centered. I'm calm. Everything is good. Okay, so yeah. Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. I heard it. Bad Bunny.
Damian Priest and San Juan Street fight. 7 points. Start talking. Champion's prerogative. So I'm gonna pick. Let me see here. Poot,
Wait,
go
what?
first.
You're not the champion. Suck my dick, you fuck
I told you I was. I claimed
Well, I'm also
it.
the galactic fucking champion. Fucking.
And I said you're not.
Overdriver.
Let's move on. Poot,
Okay.
you're going first.
I'm not going
champ, I
first.
call
You're
it.
not the champ.
You don't decide anything here, Poot. I'm the champ. Poot, you go first.
New champ, I call it.
No, you're not the champ. I'm not going first.
I'll go first.
All right.
This is a mockery of the system. Ransom, go ahead.
What are we picking first?
Make a decision. We're picking. We'll start with
Jesus.
Matt Riddle,
Matt Riddle.
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Bloodline with Paul Heyman. Who you got? 8 points.
Can you? I missed the rest of the card. Can you go over the card again?
I won't.
Here, hold on.
Sammy tag team champ Riddle Owens, 6 points.
Tiger Bomb. What you got?
Team KO Stoner, 4 points.
I am also picking Riddle, Zayn, and Owens. I am putting 1 point on it because I know that WWE likes to do some stupid fucking things. So,
True.
Pootski, who you got?
Oh, holy fuck, I'm dying. I'm gonna go Team Kevin Stonins. I'm gonna go for Team Kevin Stonins for we'll say 3 points.
Poot's absolutely just playing fast and loose here. He's gonna be asking me in 2 matches. In 2 matches, you wait. Beef, what points do I have left?
No, I don't. I keep track of my points.
In all fairness, that'll be me.
Yeah, let's be realistic here.
Yeah, I do that.
Seth freaking Rollins. I always forget that. It's a freaking
fucking Rollins.
versus Omos with MVP. Tom.
Fucking
Here, Ransom.
Pass. How about that?
Nothing.
I don't know. Fucking. Hang on. I really gotta think here. I'm trying to think if I would have put 1 point or 2 point on it. I honestly, this is just terrible. Let's go with Seth for 2 points. 'Cause reasons.
Rollins, 6 points.
Wow.
Because Omos, he's greener than goose shit, man. Like, Seth Rollins is the hottest act you have going on Raw, maybe outside of Cody Rhodes. You're not going to fucking have him lose to Omos right before they do the tournament for the new belt. No chance in hell Rollins loses 6 points.
All right. I'm picking Omos for 1. And you might be thinking to yourself, Poot, what the fuck? But if they want Omos to be any kind of threat ever, any kind of anything, he can't keep losing. Rollins can eat all of the losses, and also with MVP being out there, there could be chicanery and fuckery. So I could see them still protecting Rollins and doing that, but I'm still only putting my 1 point on it because more than likely it's going to be Rollins, but this is the one where I'm kind of reaching out and going,
I respect your gumption. I think it's a dumb move, but I respect it nonetheless.
It's a dumb move,
Ransom.
but okay.
Finish what you were saying, Poot.
My point was it might be a dumb move because like Rollins winning makes a lot of sense, especially with the upcoming tournament. It really does. However, like I said, you can have Omos get the victory and still protect Rollins just by having fuckery and chicanery. That's my point. Not that, and that's why, like I said, I don't have all the confidence in the world just by the 1 point. So that's where I'm going with that. That was it.
I'm gonna do Rollins for 2 points. I would put it higher like Beef, but we've seen, and I feel like we've said it before, and Poot even said it here tonight. Like Seth Rollins feels like one of those guys that can eat a lot of pins, and people will just forgive and forget and accept him having a big win. And I feel like, and I agree also with Beef. What's that country that you always say that you are, Poot, where you agree with both sides?
Denmark.
Switzerland. Denmark? Switzerland.
I don't know. Who cares?
Zurich.
So I feel overseas banking. I feel like a little bit of a Switzerland here, because I also agree with Beef where with this upcoming tournament, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for Rollins to lose, but it wouldn't surprise me if WWE was like, well, we keep pushing this big dumb dummy. We keep putting him in these matches. He's eventually going to have to get a win. If he gets a win over Seth, people will still sing Seth's song and still get behind him and won't really go like, oh, Seth lost to Omos. Well, boo him forever, and who cares about him anymore?
Yep.
So I could see them using this as one of those matches where it's like, all right, let's give Omos a win. It's not a big pay-per-view. It's against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins can rebound real easy. He could still be in the tournament because he's Seth Rollins. I'm worried they're going to do that. So that's why I'm going with Rollins with just 2.
It's fair. No, I don't begrudge you guys for putting low points on them. I just, I gotta believe that, Triple H's guys and gals are gonna swim to the top, and we've already kind of seen that. So
I would hope, but at the same time,
you never know. Yeah,
we know
emailing in script changes. So
I was gonna say we know how WWE can be super fucky.
We know how Vince McMahon can be.
Vince loves those big dumb guys. So
yeah. But yet missed a chance to go out and get Brian Cage. Go figure. The undisputed the United States title will be defended.
There we go.
Austin Theory will defend against Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. Triple threat match. And I believe I go first this time. I am picking Austin by God Theory for 4 points. Pootsky?
I think that this is going to be a fun match of big beefy men slapping beef with Austin in an Austin Theory sandwich. But man, Bronson Reed would be super cool. Was it Bobby Lashley's the reigning champ at the moment? No, nope. Theory is. Theory is? Oh, yeah. I'm going to put 5 points on Theory. Again, I don't see the point in him losing the belt right now. I think they want to kind of let him ride. I think he'll sneak away with the victory. I think Bronson Reed would be a lot of fun, but I could see coming out of this match, Theory and Reed having a little bit of a feud. So I'm going to say 5. I'm going to say 5 on Theory and Reed.
Don't think that's going to happen because I think Bronson Reed is on Raw.
Oh, yeah, the draft. All the draft fuckery. Draft. You know how many videos and articles I've seen where there are people saying, I fixed the WWE draft? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow, people are really pushing back on this one.
I mean, there's a lot that I like. There's some things that I don't like, but there's a lot that I like. But all that being said, we'll kind of go into it a little bit later on. That might be fodder for the second episode. Ransom. Austin Theory. Bobby Lashley, Bronson Reed. Who you got?
Theory for 5, please.
Short, sweet, to the point. I'll take it. Tom?
Austin Theory, 3 points.
Which means he's absolutely going to lose.
Damn
Anytime that we're across the board, that's absolutely going to happen. Bad Bunny with Damian Priest in a street fight in a, I hope this isn't the main event, but it would not surprise me if it was. Not because I have anything against Bad Bunny or Damian
Bad Bunny.
Priest, but I feel like there are 2 matches on this card that absolutely should be the main event over that match.
Yeah.
I hurt my throat when I was yelling.
Yeah.
You go first.
You go first. With this one, man, I don't want to spend it already because I've got a lot of higher stuff, but I'm going to go 2. Fuck it. I'm going to go with 2 on Bad Bunny.
Ransom?
Because,
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Pete.
I was just going to say because, why not?
No.
Like,
All right. Ransom, who you got?
Sorry, Beef. Did I use my 3 already?
You have not.
All right, I'm going to do 3 points, and I'm going to put it on Bad Bunny because, A, Puerto Rico. Yes, I know, Damian Priest. But, B, it's Bad Bunny, and, WWE simps for these, non-wrestling wrestlers. And, hell, aside from Rhea Ripley, the Judgment Day has had a fairly poor showing as of late, so why bother making them dominant now?
All right. Those are all fair points. Tom, who you got?
Bad Bunny for 5 points.
All right. Wouldn't shock me if we get some sort of thing with the LWO versus Ray or LWO versus the Judgment Day.
yeah.
I see that being something that's added tomorrow night, probably.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, that's, lots of talented individuals. Sorry, my God. I really killed my voice when I was shouting. I can't do that anymore. I'm not a young whelp. But yeah, so it would not shock me if we get that added on tomorrow night, but we're not going to pick it because we don't know about it. Defending the SmackDown Women's Championship, we have Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega. So, just to be clear, the SmackDown Women's title is being defended against 2 Raw women. That's where we are with this. Ransom, who you got?
Rhea Ripley for what?
I was going to say, it is Zelina Vega's home country. She's likely to have a good showing. I don't think she... Well, go ahead. I'm not going to give spoilers, but I mean, I think what we're all thinking.
Yeah. I'm going to say Rhea Ripley for 7 points. She's the hottest champion going right now, despite what they're trying to do with Roman Reigns. If they take the belt off of her after a Mania win, just to give it to Zelina Vega because she's from Puerto Rico, no. Don't.
Tom?
Rhea Ripley, 7 points.
We're shooting through these. I like it. I also am putting 7 points on Miss Rhea Ripley because, like you said, it makes no point to have Rhea Ripley get her biggest win of her career against Charlotte Flair, and then flush it down the toilet just because you're going to a different country with a different that the Superstar's from. I think this Zelina's going to have a hell of a showing. I think it's going to be a good match, but I just think that at the end of the day, Rhea Ripley is going to be a pretty dominant champion for a long time. Pootski, who you got?
Clean sweep, baby. It's going to be 7 points on Rhea Ripley.
And this is the point where it should scare you that we all put 7 on Rhea, but I mean, it just Jesus, I was a pissed off bird.
That was a mad motherfucker. Yeah.
It just bears common sense. I'm wondering what's going to happen with these belts. I'm wondering if we get new belts. I'm wondering if they just like hand each other the titles, like if the SmackDown champ and the Raw champ hand each other the titles at the end of the show.
They better not. Like that'll make it feel so cheap.
Absolutely,
but
absolutely.
But it's probably gonna be the two champions just handing each other the belts, nodding and walking their opposite directions.
Because here's the thing, Bianca Belair, whose match we're going to pick next, is on a hell of a tear. She's been champion for over a year.
Yeah.
And that's the longest women's reign in a long time. So for it to end just with and you know, I know we kind of talked about this a little bit, but like basically the records would show her reign ending on 5-6 or whatever, and then, or 5-8, whatever it would end up being, and a new reign starting. Whereas if they took the belts, they renamed the belts something other than Raw, women's title or SmackDown women's title. If they just rebranded the belts a little bit differently, like the WWE Women's Championship and the WWE Women's Championship, they could just say that these reigns continue. Ergo, Bianca wouldn't have to start a brand new reign.
I don't know, and this might be a stupid ass idea. I don't know, but I don't know why they don't brand the women's titles the same way they brand the men's titles.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Have a WWE Women's Champion and a World Women's Champion.
And I get the feeling that's where they're headed.
I'd be fine with that if they did that.
Right. Agreed. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I don't think that you have one that's lower than the other. I'll even go this. We end up with a WWE tag team title and a World tag team title. Again,
that would be weird though. I mean, it would be interesting, but it would be weird.
That's what they used to have. Like in the old brand split, they had the World Tag Team Champions and the WWE Tag Team Champions.
Oh, you're right.
The only thing that I am iffy on is the women's tag team titles, because I worry that they don't have a full enough women's roster to field 2 women's singles titles and 2 sets of women's tag team titles.
No, I don't think they do.
Well, that's where they start yanking people from NXT.
And they did. They absolutely did.
Yeah, they did.
They pulled the 2. They pulled the 2 best tag teams from NXT, and honestly, I think the 2 best women's tag teams in WWE period out of NXT. So I think that they absolutely have their eyes on something. But that notwithstanding, again, that we'll kind of get into that a little bit more, the draft talk. So Bianca Belair defends the Raw Women's Championship against Io Sky with Bayley and Dakota Kai in her corner. And again, 2 ladies who are on SmackDown fighting for the red belt. Who picked first on that one? Was that a Ransom pick? I think that may have been a Ransom pick.
I don't remember.
No, I was last on the last one. I was last on the last one, so it'd be
that would be Tom's pick then.
Yeah.
All right.
So Bianca 6 points.
Bianca 6. So, I also like Bianca. I am a little less confident in that because I think, again, if they're trying to I hate to say start fresh or have a clean slate, but I feel like now would be the time to do it. And Lord, if there is justice in the world, Io Sky will get this title. I don't have any problem with Bianca Belair. She's had a hell of a run as champion, but I think it's time for Io Sky to, ascend and truly get her, place amongst the stars, so to speak. But I don't think that's going to be yet. So I am taking Bianca for 2 points. I'm hoping for Io, but I'm betting on Bianca. Poot? Bianca, 2 points.
Oh, you did Bianca. Okay. You know what? Just because I haven't held the belt in years and I am just throwing myself to the wind and you got to be different to win, I'll put my 4 point on Io Sky. Let's see if it goes. Let's see if it flows.
Cool.
Ransom?
Again, I apologize. I have my 1, and then what else?
4.
I'm gonna do 4 on Bianca Belair. I want EO to win, but I don't know. I don't know when they're gonna take the belt off Bianca, but I don't know. I'm doubtful it'll happen here.
Seems like a silly time to do it.
It does.
I think if they're going to make any of these big sweeping changes, it's probably going to be Night of Champions, which I think ought to be actually a decent show, all things considered.
Bite your tongue.
I'm over saying, it's going to be a crap show because it's in Saudi. I think they're just booking shows in Saudi now. I think when they first started booking shows in Saudi, absolutely they were garbage shows. Not like the worst, but like they just weren't. They didn't hold water. But the last few shows in Saudi Arabia haven't been terrible, and they've been booked logically, and I don't know. So like I think with Night of Champions being such a big deal, it wouldn't shock me to see some of the changes happening. But again, well, that's fodder for another time. Finally, we have Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, in a why is this happening? Oh, who cares match.
It's on you.
It is. I'm picking Cody Rhodes for 5 points because the only thing I can think of is them denying Cody the belt just so that he can work his way back up. I think that starts with a victory against Brock Lesnar. I think it continues with a failure in the finals of the world title tournament, and I think it concludes with a Money in the Bank win, and then Cody challenging Roman to a world title match or a WWE title match at SummerSlam. That I think is how that's going to play out. But I'm taking Cody, 5 points. Putski?
Well, I mean, it's a foregone conclusion what number I'm doing. I'm doing 6, but I'm going to put it on Cody as well. It doesn't make sense not to pick Cody because you got to, like after coming off the heels of WrestleMania, a win against Bork Laser in a throwaway nothing match would still, help him a lot to like get his legs back under him. So I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes.
Absolutely. Ransom?
This is my 1 point, yes?
Yes, sir.
I did save this purposely for last. I'm going to put 1 point on Brock Lesnar. I am not entirely convinced that the screwing of Cody Rhodes / hard times, baby, isn't going to be a longer drawn out thing. I don't know why. I feel like with Mania, it wouldn't shock me to see Cody lose to Brock and to go on this lengthy, he can win the weeklies, but when it comes to the big one, he just can't get it done. And they continue that story. The story continues until he finally gets one, finally gets the big one. The I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm saying. I feel like I'm talking claptrap, but at the same time, there's part of me that thinks that the screwing of Cody Rhodes is not yet done. So that's why I'm going with Brock Lesnar. 1 point.
Makes sense.
That makes me infinitely sad that we have to consider that he's getting screwed.
Hard times breed better men.
That's
whoa. That's literally his theme song.
Yeah, I know.
Timothy, what you got? This will be your 1 pointer as well, sir.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. My 1 pointer was either going to be this or the Seth Rollins Omos match. It's like I said before. Whenever Beef freaked out about Cody losing at Mania, Cody's going to have to go through hard times, and this is going to be one of those hard times. But I agree with Ransom in that I don't think that Cody's going to come away with a victory out of this. I think he's going to come away looking strong. I think he's going to put up a hell of a fight against Brock Lesnar, but I don't think he's going to get the job done. Now, I'm with Beef in thinking that maybe we get like a Money in the Bank win or something like that. But I don't think Cody has yet begun his hard times, and this is one roadblock in the way of that. So Brock Lesnar, 1 point, but Cody's going to look strong throughout it.
Okay. So let's pivot off of that. I feel like, I don't know, like I will forever and always believe that Cody winning at WrestleMania 39 was the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they draw this shit out for another fucking year and Cody wins the Rumble for a second year in a row, unfucking heard of,
back to back. Yeah, was it Austin
Elite,
and Michaels?
Yeah, Austin. Nope. Michaels did do it back to back.
Yeah, Austin and Michaels. They were the only
basically, ones. Yeah, like unheralded ground, or rather heralded ground. I just, even if he does it and they go to WrestleMania 40 and he wins at WrestleMania 40, like I just feel like I'm gonna have a real hard time with Roman Reigns holding that belt for another year. I'm already bored to tears, and he's had the belt for about 30 days after when I thought he'd lose it. I feel like that we've hit the apex of his reign. And B, if they give Cody Money in the Bank, I think it's a wasted fucking proposition. Like, you could absolutely elevate a younger talent, like an LA Knight, like a Bronson Reed, like even Austin Theory.
Can you imagine LA Knight holding that fucking briefcase? The promos,
absolutely elevate somebody that needs elevated. Cody doesn't need elevated. He's already as high as he is going to get, which is why a world title victory at WrestleMania makes sense. And again, I know that we can't blame this on Vince. I know that this is something that's been in plans, that's been in place for since October. I don't know, man. Like, to me, I think you guys are right. Cody's gonna have to have a redemption arc at some point. I feel like if he doesn't beat Lesnar, like, why? I don't know. Like, what are you saving Lesnar for anymore? I guess is my biggest question.
Well, they're not. Like, Lesnar, like, I honestly think that Lesnar is kind of living the thing that we talk about with legends coming back, where he's doing the thing where it's like, yeah, he comes back. He won a little bit when he first came back, and now he's just kind of doing his thing. Like, he's just kind of doing his thing. He'll eat all the losses. You give him a win, and it's like, well, of course Brock Lesnar is going to win. He's Brock Lesnar. Like, no one's going to look at Brock Lesnar and go, oh, we don't believe you're, a viable win or a viable champion or a viable this or a viable that, because he lost a bunch of matches. He's having fun. Like, and he's even said that. You've seen it. Nice out. He
sorry.
No, that was a good one. But that's kind of the thing with him, is it's like he can lose and still be viable and still be believable, and people will still love him. It's the Seth Rollins effect. It's that kind of thing. But
he's not. But they're not supposed to love him, though. Like, that's the thing. He's not.
But he is lovable now.
He's not. He's a bad guy again.
So
he turned on Cody, and now he's wearing a black trench coat and a black cowboy hat. Clearly, he's a heel. Come on, Poot, keep up, and a death metal band shirt. Clearly, he's a heel. Keep up.
Yeah, but I know. But he's still believable, and people will still like him. He will always be an anti-heel. No one's gonna look at him and give him go away heat. No one's gonna look at him and be like, "Oh, I don't believe Brock Lesnar." Like, I mean,
Like, I hear the points of Ransom and Tom and them saying, Cody has to have some hard times, and he's got to go through some stuff. To me, that's like Lesnar coming out and betraying him. I think that was like his lowest low.
All right.
And now like the victory against Lesnar built him back up. But I understand what they're saying, like that this is part of the redemption arc. I just like, and then Brock Lesnar apparently is a fucking void walker that can walk between brands as he pleases.
Yeah.
Because he's just that guy. I don't know.
They're still gonna have that. They're still gonna have that nonsense.
Only for selected free agents. He is one of those selected free agents that can go between shows.
That
was something that he, and so but that was a big storyline that they made a big deal of. That he worked into his new contract, saying that he could go wherever he wants to. So I don't think it's going to be a thing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. You're good.
But,
you're good.
But if they were gonna have a select few people be able to go in between brands like that, for whatever reason, storyline or otherwise, what they could have done? Had one fucking title. How about that? Jesus Christ. It pains me. Some of the logic.
We haven't even talked about the new title yet.
I know. I'm just saying
Lord.
I love it.
Like this is why I had always been an advocate for having like one world heavyweight champion. You have one best of the best. You have one face of the company that could go between both rosters, regardless if there were separate rosters or not. It can be done. If they're going to let fucking Brock Lesnar do it without a title, why not let Roman or whoever else do it with a title?
Well, because you're stunting the growth of the company. That's what it is. Because Roman Reigns has held this title hostage, and that is going to be my verbiage until he loses the belt.
But regardless, you're focusing on the wrong thing, though. Not just because it's Roman, like just any situation.
But I'm asking your question as to why this is happening now, because you have a wealth of talent. You have a number of guys who should be world champions, okay, but aren't, and that are just kind of there. Seth Rollins is just kind of there right now. He's in a feud with fucking Omos for some reason. Brock Lesnar randomly turned on Cody. Like, there are a lot of guys who are just kind of wasting away here, okay? One world champion, even if he doesn't hold it for 870,000 fucking years like Roman has, even if he doesn't pull a Bob Backlund, I think that one world title is a mistake when you have this big of a roster. If you have this big of a roster that can field two separate shows with two separate rosters, be completely apart from one another, there is no point to basically hold the rest of the roster back. And I think that's why two world titles makes the most sense to me. And I hear what you're saying, because at some point, you're right. Somebody's going to say, well, which title means more?
Exactly, and that's always been the biggest complaint that I've had. Like, if you're gonna call it, if you're gonna call one, just call it like how. If they're gonna do two titles, one world champion per show, then call it like the Raw, the Raw Heavyweight Championship or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's just, regardless, there's however you decide to do it, whether you had one title or whether you had two. There are better ways of going about it, regardless of, which you decide to do. That said, I will say I really do really like the new title design for the world, whatever it's going to be called. Is it going to be called the WWE World Heavyweight Championship?
No, it is just being called the World Heavyweight Championship.
Okay, well, regardless, I like it. I think it looks amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is literally big gold, but with the big WWE logo in the middle. And I think that they do it unlike the previous WWE titles, which were just a big stupid logo. They offset it with a lot of like really good flourish. So I think that they really did a really great job with the belt.
I think they did the best job they could. It's not unattractive. It is not an unattractive belt. I just think that taking big gold and slapping the WWE thing in the middle, it's very AEW-y. If you recall, my umbrage with the AEW title, my umbrage with it was that logo is so out of place on that ornate belt. Now, I have gotten used to the AEW world title. I've gotten used to the Triple B. However, it's kind of the same thing. I looked at it and I went, that is a gorgeous belt. If they wouldn't have just slapped the WWE title, if they would have stylized the W a little bit, like done engraving on it, that would have like evened everything out for me. But it's just like W. And I'm like, come on. Like,
welcome to the world of branding, brother, where like every arena is no longer like the Cow Palace. You know, now every arena is named after fucking something.
No, and I'm aware of that. Like I'm aware of that. Like, but it's still just like, I look and I go, you almost were there. You got over the bar and then your heel hit the bar and knocked it down. Like it's almost a victory for me. Again, it's
Ransom,
not.
what do you think about all this?
Yes, Ransom. I don't have a problem with the new World Heavyweight title. I mean, every WWE belt aside from the Intercontinental title has the big W in the middle. It's more uniform, like with the rest of the titles. Yet it still has that nostalgia factor of the old World Heavyweight title look. Pardon me, sorry. It took some getting used to whenever I first saw it, because I thought, you're bringing back the World Heavyweight title. Why not just have it be the old World Heavyweight title? But the more I looked at it, I get it. Like all the other belts, like again, aside from the Intercontinental belt, has the W in the middle of it. So whatever, it is what it is. I'm just happy the World Heavyweight title is back. Going back to the whole double champion thing, I thought it worked very well during the first iteration of the draft. I feel like if there weren't two big titles, you may not have gotten people like Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit as champions. If there was just one belt, I feel like maybe it would have just bounced back and forth between, JBL, Triple H, Orton, Batista. Like maybe some of those guys that got a chance to hold it that wouldn't have gotten that chance otherwise made the whole two big title thing a success. And I think you grow stale. If you have one world title that just bounces back and forth between shows, I feel like you have more of a chance of things getting stale. You can have more storylines for top belts if you have the two titles. You can have storylines where people like, I don't even know, because I don't know who's all on what show yet at this point. But you can have people on both shows vying for the title. I think it makes sense. If you're going to have a brand split and a draft, I think two world titles make sense. I'm happy with it because I was happy with the first iteration. Maybe even JBL wouldn't have had the reign that he had as WWE champion if there hadn't been two different belts. And I think, despite what people might think of JBL as a person, I think him as a wrestler and as that character, I think it was a slam dunk. I think he nailed it. People loved to hate him, and I think he made a great WWE champion. I have more of a problem with the free agents. During the first draft, like the biggest legend of them all, The Undertaker, was still separated onto one show. You say what you want about Triple H, JBL, Batista, Randy Orton, whatever. Undertaker was the pedestal at that point. Like he was the legend of legends at that point. And he was still held to one show. You know, like he didn't get bounced back and forth between shows. He wasn't a free agent between shows. I have more of a problem with the free agency than I do the look of the big gold belt and the fact that there are going to be, 2 world titles. I think if you're going to have a brand split, you need to have a sheer brand split. Straight down, you guys are on this show, you guys and gals, pardon me, are on the other show. When we have our combined shows, then you'll have people that bounce back and forth, in matches and things like that. But I would much rather it be a strict Raw roster and a strict SmackDown roster.
So here's the thing. I know that there are other people listed as free agents: Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, Von Wagner.
Oh, Dolph Ziggler, yeah.
Omos.
Fucking
Wyatt,
Von Wagner.
And Omos.
Alexa Bliss and Logan Paul are all not assigned to a roster right now. I don't think any of those guys or gals are going to just start going between brand to brand. I honestly think that the only guy that you see do that is going to be Lesnar, because I think, and hear me out, I agree that The Undertaker was the biggest, kind of star that they had at the time. Absolutely. But I think that Brock Lesnar, I'm going to start doing a server mute of 2 minutes. There's going to be a 2-minute cooldown every time somebody belches.
I apologize.
I swear to God, every time.
Bite.
Every time. I don't care. This is a discussion for off air. I think that Lesnar going between brands makes sense because he's a bigger star than The Undertaker was. Like that or not, Brock Lesnar draws eyes, and I think that they're looking to capitalize on that in the most intelligent way possible. Now, in practice, what's it going to look like? We'll see. If he's literally bouncing between brands month to month, which I don't think he will be. I think he's only going to show up on the big paydays, i.e. WrestleMania. And I think we can include Backlash as a part of WrestleMania season. I mean, for Christ's sake, last year or 2 years ago, it was literally named WrestleMania Backlash. So I think Backlash is kind of like WrestleMania spillover. And I think he'll show up for SummerSlam because it's a big show. And then we may not see him again until Rumble, maybe a little bit in the fall. But so I don't think that he's going to be bouncing back and forth. I think that this just allows him the flexibility for more programs. Now, now that being said, I 100% am backing you, Ransom. Where if we start seeing like fucking Ziggler and Ali and fucking Omos going back and forth, like all right, like let's figure this shit out because. Yeah. Because it's silly, but like if it's just Lesnar, I'm fine with it. But if we end up in this fucking wild card situation again,
nope, stupid.
Forget about it.
Why'd you say the W word? Why? Just why?
I'm over it because I think it bears. I think that Ransom is onto something that this free agent thing could be nonsense. Again, if it's more than Lesnar. So I think that it bears, willing it into existence. Something else that I'm going to will into existence is the end of this episode. Poot, you articulate well, and you are a man who I trust to take this home. So please do it.
All right. Country Roads, episode's done. Next one's coming. Get ready, fuckers. Tune into the next episode. P3 Podcast. We'll do all the other stuff. Tiny little taco, like the ones that you get. You dip them in sour cream. They're an appetizer. The fried ones, the little tiny ones. We're doing that. Bye.